Hi, welcome to Papa's Workshop. I want to finish up the project that I'm doing where I added the power strips to the workbench. Now I want to be able to eliminate that extension cord that was hanging from the ceiling and be able to have these power strips permanently plugged in to an outlet on the workbench itself. So today I want to show you just how simple it is to be able to add that, and I'm going to make it where I can just plug it in anytime that I need it. When I don't need the power strips, I can actually unplug just the one cord and have it out of the way. And I want to show you how I'm going to do that today. It's really very simple. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of my Patreons for supporting this channel. And if you'd like to be able to join the Patreon community, please go to patreon.com/papasworkshop. And again, I want to thank everybody for watching these videos today. Now that I have the power strip on this side and it's plugged in to the extension cord that is literally in the ceiling, and I don't like that. In the previous video, I just added a power strip to the opposite side of the workbench, and I have the cord literally going nowhere right now. What I want to be able to do is be able to plug in both power strips and be able to run a cord to the wall across the floor and eliminate that cord dragging down from the ceiling. Here's the solution. Just pull back the tabletop and I've got access. And what I would like to be able to do is set up some type of a bracket here where I can actually plug this cord in this box right here and have these power strips plug into this. And then I'll run a cord from here over to the outlet. So that was the plan that we're going to do. When I built this table many years ago, I put this strip in here basically to be able to screw from underneath and secure the workbench to it. And I decided I did not want that. I wanted this tabletop to be free to be able to move. So I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to add this 2x4 in here, and then I'll be able to attach this box easily. I'm going to go ahead and remove this cleat and add this 2x4. Now this 2x4 was nothing more than a scrap one, and it is very warped, twisted, and everything else. But it will definitely serve the purpose on what I need to be able to do to be able to hold this electrical outlet. Quite frankly, I'm surprised I didn't throw it away, but at this point, I'm glad I didn't. I'm just going to mark the underside so it gives me the correct measurement that I need, and I'll take this over to the table saw, and I'll be able to cut it. Now that it's all cut, and I got to be able to put it in there, you can kind of get the idea of just how twisted this 2x4 is. Now, granted, this is pressure treated, but that's okay. It really doesn't matter in this application. I'm going to go ahead and use the hammer and finish putting it in exactly where I want it. And then I'll just take a couple of screws in each end and screw it into position. But this outlet box is going to be perfect. That will fit there just the way I want it. So 2 screws on this side will hold it in, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. It really doesn't take a whole lot to be able to hold this in place. And quite frankly, if I ever decide to secure the workbench to the base, I still have a cleat to be able to do that. Now this box has a little bit different type of connector that holds the wire in place, and I need to just use that hammer just to be able to open it up just a little bit. And then I'll take this wire and shove it in. Now as far as the wire, this was left over from an old power tool that I no longer have, but I did save the wire. You never know when you can reuse and repurpose this in the shop, and this is a good example of that. I'm going to take the wire stripper and go ahead and strip the insulation off of this wire so it exposes about 3/4 to an inch of wire, and then I'm going to twist the ends so I can actually attach this to the screw of the outlet itself. And I'm going to do this on each of the 3 wires. The black wire is the hot wire, and that will go onto the gold screw, and then the white will go onto the silver screw. And of course, the green wire will attach to the green screw for the ground. Now this wire, once it's twisted and I make a little hook on the end of it, it goes around the left side of the screw and wraps around it. That way, as I tighten this screw, it actually helps to pull the wire into and around the screw that I'm tightening. That is the absolute best way to be able to do it. Once that is tight, I'm just going to go ahead, flip it over, and I'm going to attach the white wire to this silver screw and repeat the process. Now that those are done, the only wire that's left to attach is the ground wire. And I did the same exact thing. I'm just going to hook that on to the screw on the left-hand side, and that little hook of the wire just wraps right around the screw. And then I can just simply tighten it, and that will help pull that wire right down there and secure it in place. From there, it's just a matter of folding the wires neatly, setting them inside the box, and I'll screw the outlet right to this box. I know it's hard to see in the camera, but this cord that I'm using is actually a 12 gauge wire, so it will be able to work real well to be able to supply the power to these two power strips. And quite frankly, I'll never have more than one or perhaps two tools working at any given time for these power strips. Now at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and put this cover on and be able to close this up. And that's just a matter of just putting it on, screwing this one screw down, and that's really it. Now it's time to go ahead and attach this, and I'm just using a couple of 1¼ drywall screws to be able to attach it, and I'm not even measuring. I'm just getting it close into the center of this area, and that will work just fine. Now this is nothing more than just an extension cord with this outlet box on the end of it, but it is permanently attached to the workbench with a couple of screws to be able to hold it in place. And now I'm just going to take these power strips and I'm going to go ahead and plug them in. Just like that. Now I do need to, at some point, go ahead and secure these wires to be able to get them up and out of the way. But for right now, to be able to test this out, I'm just going to go ahead and plug them in. Now that is done. Now I'm going to take a cord and just plug it in. This is one of the lights that I have to be able to use with the cameras. I'll plug in my new extension cord into the wall outlet and let's turn it on. And there you go. It works perfect. The only thing left to do now is just be able to go ahead and secure this cord up and out of the way. But that was a simple way to add a plug to be able to attach my two power strips to and be able to plug it into the wall. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and slide the top of my workbench back over and cover it up. And it's all out of sight, but it's going to work perfectly. At this point, I'm just going to add one screw, and I'm going to do a different type of hook later on, but I'm going to put one screw right here that will be able to hold the extension cord when it's not in use. And I think this will be a very simple solution. It doesn't get any easier than this. Thank you for watching today. I hope that you're enjoying these little short, quick tip type videos. And this may be able to help you around your shop. And if you did like it, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe right down there and hit the bell notification next to it. You won't believe how much that really helps me out. Well, until next time, I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next video that I do, whatever that may be. I've got a lot of exciting videos planned, and I've got quite a few videos with the laser coming up very shortly. So please go ahead and subscribe today so you won't miss out. Until next time, bye-bye.